And we're live. Um,
Awesome.
Thank you. Welcome, Audra.
Thank you for having me.
So, the perfect place to start would just be a little background as far as like how you went from window film being something on your car to being your career.
That's a fun story. So, about 2 years ago in February, I accepted a position with a manufacturer, Solar Guard, and I just came on as the digital marketing specialist. And um, I had to learn to market properly. You have to learn the product. So I was lucky enough to have some of the greats teaching me, like Miguel Dietrich, John Mitchell, and that's the technical side of things. Then I learned from dealers how to install. Not that I'm going to be an installer anytime soon, but I dove into the basics, and then to see the whole safety film and see what that does, and how I had no clue about safety film and how I wanted it on all of my windows, all of my kids' schools' windows. Then I just became completely passionate about window film, and that's how it all began.
Okay. Well, it's a story that I kind of can relate to because I kind of came into the industry from marketing and it led that way too. Because, like you said, to be a good marketer, you have to learn the product. And then once you learn window film and, all the categories of it, it's like, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
And look at that industry. Like,
I mean, it's so surprising to know all of the benefits of window film, and how no regular Joe understands that.
hmm
Uh, just, use it for the looks. And that's why, as a marketer, I feel like I'm able to get to the people learning. Do you need me to move?
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just adjusting something on my end.
Okay, good.
Nobody but
Um,
you can see.
well, see, now I had a squirrel moment.
No, we're
So let's see.
so into the industry. That's how it began. So you were
Yeah,
working with Solar Guard, and then is you're not anymore. Like I don't, I want to talk about it, but I don't want to in any way like step on toes or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I'm. Um, I don't either, and I am no longer there. But it was not because I did not love the company and the people that I worked with. It was just for my own personal reasons. I needed to choose my family, and it just happened to be that I I resigned my position. February 24th, right before the quarantine, right before this whole thing happened. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful because I ended up picking up my family and moving out of California.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so I'm thankful for that, because now we're here, we're together, and we're in somewhere just. But other than that, I love my Solar Guard family and the team. I mean, they were awesome.
So figuring out some camera issues today. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little blurry, but give me 1 second. So while I
Well, blurry over here.
say again.
You're not blurry over here.
Oh, I know it's Let's see. That's not gonna work. Uh, Today's an interesting camera day. Hang on.
Where are you located?
So let's. I'm in Los Angeles, and just trying to get my screen clear. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be blurry today. It doesn't matter. So carrying on. So okay, you left Solar Guard. Great company, and I actually did want to. One of the questions I had for you was, you know, what you think they're doing right. But before we get there, now you have your own marketing company, and that's very much why I wanted to talk to you today. And it's called Wicked Witch Marketing, right?
Yes. So I had a choice. I could look for another position in another industry and try to, no, not try, but learn the product, learn the industry. I, leaving Solar Guard, I had fallen in love with the industry, the people, the dealers, just the kindness from so many people and the hard workers
Mm-hmm.
that are there that desperately need help, like my help, your help. And, you know, so if I can bring any of my expertise to help spread the awareness on window film, to help now, especially in these times, help these small businesses succeed. And it's the only choice that I really truly could make with, just
Yeah,
on my feel good about.
it's the way I see it is it's like this evolution because, like you said, you worked at Solar Guard. Now you're doing your own thing, and like but it's in the same industry, and it's like you just went through an intense like training on a product as a marketer, as an experienced marketer. You went through an intense training on a product that then gives you the ability to be more successful for your clients in that industry, and then you go, okay,
Right.
well, because if you look back, I think now's the best time we've ever been in. But if you look back, like there's a shortage of like marketing companies towards like window tint any marketing company is going to take you on as a client, but do they really know the product and so on? And there's
Exactly.
like leaps and bounds of advantages. So I just think that it's almost like this evolution, like a butterfly effect, where you went into a cocoon, you did your thing, you helped that company, they helped you, and now it's like another stage, and
Yeah.
you'll probably be helping their dealers like through your own marketing because it's that's the beauty of the window film industry. There's like this
All
containment around it.
encompassing. Yeah. I mean, I think that's something that actually shocked me in the beginning stages of my learning process, is the competition between distributors and manufacturers. And yet, I mean, just some of those things, it really irritates the heck out of me when we're all going for the same thing. Some of us own small businesses and just do cars, and they support their family. Well, I mean, they need to be supported as much as the architectural, the safety. I don't know. I just love the industry. I love everything about it, and um, I'm excited to not have any limitations on what I create.
So let's expand on that. As far as the services that you offer, again, the name of the company is Wicked Witch Marketing, which I want to know why it's called Wicked Witch Marketing. And then I also want to just ask you, like, I went through your website, like I see the outline of what you're offering, and just kind of dive deeper into like what you feel your specialties are, and like where you feel that there's opportunity for growth.
So, okay, first question: why Wicked Witch Media? And I was hoping you'd ask that, and the reason why you asked it is exactly why I settled on this. But um, Wicked Witch, it stands out. It has you questioning, why is it named Wicked Witch? Well, would it would it make an impact just being Audra Leigh marketing? No. Wicked Witch, it says something. Now, that being said,
Does say something, but to me it says like
negative.
a little bit, not like negative, like I'm not judging your marketing. It doesn't make me think of like, oh, this is not somebody who's qualified. It makes me think you're probably like spicy or like, like I don't know, snappy or something like that is what I would get my impression of it, how I interpret
Well, well, that's good then.
it.
I
I don't
mean,
know, you tell
it's
me.
just I yeah, that's fine with me if that was your interpretation. I have to be feisty in this industry, especially, being female, number one. Two, I'm newer to the industry. Number three, I'm really good at what I do. So I have to stand out. I have to be loud and obnoxious and piss people off. And in some ways, I mean, I was thankful, the vampire. I don't know if you saw the Solar Guard
Yeah, of
vampire.
course. When we first spoke, it was about getting the vampire and you as a tag team on here.
Yeah, that would be
Was
amazing. Which I'm still in contact with him, but he wouldn't be able to come back as that. But that was a lot of fun to create, but there was a lot of struggle because it was different, because it kind of irked people
so
a bit.
was that your brain? Was that your brainchild?
It was, there was a video company that gave us the script and gave me the script. They actually took me into a private call. So, do you think Solar Guard will go for this? And I said, you know what? I don't know, but I'm going to do whatever I can to make it happen, because it was such a good script. It was funny. I like funny. Funny makes an impact. And I saw the magic within that. And then we found the perfect vampire. Then I created a story behind the vampire. His name has a complete history of why his name was what it was, how he became the vampire, why he loves window film so much. And it was, it won two Marcom Awards, international Marcom Awards, a platinum for the web video, the commercial, and a gold for the entire marketing campaign, which is that was awesome, worth the
So
struggle.
So okay, I've known of Solar Guard for I don't know forever since I've known of window film. But when that campaign came out, it definitely grabbed my attention. I remember questioning if Solar Guard really got broken into. So the story
Woo!
behind that was that you guys started releasing kind of this like, hey, somebody broke into our warehouse, and then it was like, oh, we have some security footage and so on. And like there was a point somewhere towards the end where I was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit, but it didn't matter. It's bullshit. It wasn't like you were lying to me. It was an entertaining thing. And then there was this like vampire, which you could easily like it's like over the top. It's like hokey, but in a good way. It's
Yeah.
not like it doesn't feel cheap. It felt very well produced. It felt,
Oh,
you
good.
know what I mean? And then from there I started seeing the vampire, make these like, I don't know, goofy, funny commercials, and it's not like it's unique. You have to understand, like not you, I think you understand, but everybody has to understand. Like in marketing, you can criticize things, but if you start it, okay, what are you going to actually do? You have to do something that gets some attention. You have to do something,
Yep.
and like
Something.
that was something. It was something that you didn't really see from other manufacturers. And then you started seeing it consistently, which is important. You can't do something once or twice. Then I started seeing, like I saw the shoot that you did in the desert with
Yep.
the what was the name of the
Karma.
car? The Karma, the Fisker,
Yeah.
or the Karma. It's a Karma now. And I like that ongoing thing. I like that then it created an opportunity for social media marketing for you to go live. So now you're not only creating film, but then you're creating social media behind, which I want to watch, because I want to watch the final product, but I actually want to watch what you're doing
The
now.
whole process.
And using an innovative car like the Karma, which is like, I like a Tesla. I think that has a broad market, but Karma has this different market where you're like, nobody really has a Karma, but you're like wowed by it. It's like, this is very unique, so that it makes that transfers over to the film. I like the whole thing. I think if they, and I'm not saying they didn't do this, maybe I'm unaware, but I think if they really push that more, and maybe had one side facing the dealers and one side facing the consumers, and you have to be really obviously effective and put a lot of money behind getting consumers, because it's brand awareness and we care about window film. Nobody else really does, but I like it. That's what brought me into that. That's what had me reach out to you originally.
And when I hear these things, it makes me incredibly happy. It makes the fight for, it's, if you're not in marketing, I don't blame anyone. If it was so different, I don't blame people for not understanding, for thinking he was goofy. He was goofy. That was the point, to get your attention, because the regular Joe is not going to watch a detailed commercial about window film. They don't even call it window film. So, you
That's
know,
true.
it's so that's what I want to do with Wicked Witch. That's why I settled on Wicked Witch. I happened to move a little east. So, I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. It just kind of fits. And, I want to make an impact for any of the small businesses or the larger businesses. I want to bring that creativity, that spark, that passion to protect as many people as possible, whether it's in their car or in their school or in their home, most likely at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would imagine, like, I mean, I don't know. This is neither here nor there, but like with you hear a lot about gun sales right now. I would imagine like security film. Like, why are you buying guns? You're buying guns because you're worried that things are going to go to hell and everybody's going to break into your home to steal your cans of soup and and just ravish your
Yep.
house. And security film plays complete hand in hand with that because like so getting the message out there is a job on its own because you can offer a service, but if you're not being found, if you're not getting the message out there, you're not necessarily drawing the connection in someone's head. That's a whole important job, right? I mean,
It's critical. It's critical, especially now with all of these small businesses going out of business. So 22 million people out of work. This is such a good industry for people, for for people that actually want to work. And I mean, whether you're an installer or anybody, if in this window film industry, I mean, I don't know. I've tried to get my kids to become installers so that they can run their own business one day, but we'll see about
got to
that.
show them. You got to show them the money. They have to know
Yeah,
money is in it. Uh, not
it's
saying
so
it's like
true.
winning a lottery ticket, but it's an industry that's under. It's not like necessarily in its most mature phase. It's still a lot of opportunity versus other industries where they've become more. The margins have
Well,
shrunk and the competition has grown. Is what I'm saying.
right. Yes.
You know.
Yes. So, uh, yeah, I feel like it's a perfect time for me to really make a mark, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just getting everything lined up because I did just leave Solar Guard and then this quarantine, and um, it's been a bit stressful figuring out what I wanted to do and what starting something fresh. It's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of just a lot of work. And was I really willing to do that right now? And yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, I am, because I still have so many ideas to try to get the window film out there.
Yeah. And I mean, the opportunities for growth, like growth is one of those like painful processes, painful in a good way, but like it's painful. It's like going to the gym. It's like learning anything. It's not easy. So like, I feel like this is probably, I assume what I imagine you're going through right now is that good pain of like growth, you
Oh,
know?
I love this part. I love organizing. I love setting up, just the campaigns that, for the yearly campaigns. Can I help you?
I just wanted to say hi.
Hi.
Jeez.
My kids came home. They are in San Diego still, but they came home today.
Nice. Where
So
are you located now?
I am in Tempe area of
Okay.
Arizona.
Beautiful. Super
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Here, can you see my background? Oh,
Oh, wow. Yeah. Very.
there's actually water in Arizona. That's how
So,
you get a San Diego girl to the desert.
so tell me a little more. Like, if let's say I'm a window film company, maybe I do around, maybe $300,000 a year in sales, $300,000 a year in sales. It's just a couple of us, and it's one bay garage where we do mobile or whatnot. Or, you
Hmm.
know, tell me what do budgets look like? Where do you kind of start first? What do you think's, you know, what's the expectation? I guess what can people expect?
So, what I am going to offer, I'm not going to try to be like any other marketing agency. I'm not going to try to um, please everybody.
So if you go to wickedwitchmedia.com right now, and there's a wait list. The wait list is there because I am going to have a website audit, a digital footprint audit, to find out where you're at online right now, see how much work, like prep work, would have to go in to implementing the program. The program is going to be all content, all creative content, videos, the specialized campaigns that are branding or building the awareness for window film. Also, they'll get the branded material for their use as well. Um, all of the ads, SEO, any of the reporting, let's see, printable collateral. So when different campaigns come out, they'll be able to get, shop banner or flyers, or, the rear view mirror hangers, the information sheets. And it's not going to be manufacturer branded. It's going to be about the window film.
So creating, like you said, the printed materials and so on about the company so that they can have their own brand awareness when
it's right. And they can brand any of the material. I'm only going to take per region, one client per region.
So you mentioned that on your website. So I was curious, how do you divide those regions, or like, what is that? Like per city, what is it just about?
It's going to be per population. And so it's just going to have to, a case by case basis. I mean, LA is going to have, more than one client, for a Wicked Witch client. Because it's so big and it's so populated, but because all of the work that I do is going to be so locally targeted for them, I can't have multiple ads going in that same region for different shops. So I have to keep the content unique to the clients that are of Wicked Witch.
Okay, that makes sense. And so you talk a lot about branding and, brand awareness. Where would you say, in your previous position, were you interacting, I would imagine, with a lot of different window film companies, or individually? Like, were you exposed to them, or was it more just the brand Solar Guard as a whole?
Oh, I've been introduced to dealers. So I've immersed myself into that life.
Okay, so I'm curious, like, let's get, what I'm thinking is, what have you identified being, you have a unique perspective, obviously, with a marketing background and then your previous position. What have you seen that you feel is like the biggest opportunity for tint companies that you see like most often, where you're like, oh, if they just did this one thing, it could make such a big difference for their business? Where do you think that is, or what have you kind of seen in the past?
One thing that I actually mentioned the other day to a dealer was that I noticed that dealers advertise to other dealers, not the actual customer or what could be their potential customer. There's a lot of industry. So then there's fighting over that so every social media post is about, mine's better than yours and yours, instead of actually, when anything to go online, it should be advertising to their customer or who they want to come in. So I did notice that a lot.
Gotcha. And that's something that I've obviously noticed in the past too, because it exists, where you see a window film company putting out messages, sometimes even like talking about, our customers come to us, they don't go to the guy down the street that's cheaper. And it's like, what I'm wondering is just like, I understand that makes you maybe feel better for that moment, but like, what good do you think you're doing? Because nobody's going to be like, yeah, that's a reason to come to you because you said that. And other people are like, all you're doing is building awareness about the guy down the street. Like,
right.
Like it's that sort of kind of like, you have to think when you're on your company page. And I think a lot of times it should extend to your personal page, because I think a lot of tinters, they're kind of like family businesses. A lot of their customers come like know them as a person as well as their business. So like it, you have to understand that like when you put a message out there, your customers are seeing that, and then it will have effect on your business, whether it's good or bad effect, it will have an effect. So it's not
Yes.
going to be no effect. It's going to be a good effect or a bad effect.
Well, and that's the thing with this industry. Digital marketing is something new to all of the people. When people have been installing window film for decades and decades and decades, now this whole digital marketing thing is, obviously doing very well for people, but um, it's it's just crazy to me that everything is so factual based. Everything that people put out is factual based. That's fine. Educate while entertaining.
So
So
you're talking about like when maybe posts are too, they're talking about like stats of a film or using like industry jargon that maybe the consumers don't understand. That's sort of like putting like highest teaser film or something like that. And like obviously zero people know a teaser, like zero, other than a window film.
zero.
Zero, yeah.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
and yes.
So the
So it's
communication.
about dumbing down that and figuring out how to educate as well as entertain that audience. And it's definitely not by using any of the jargon
Right.
that we know. It's
Right.
just that's not how it works.
Well, I even think what you just said too, you said educate or entertain the audience. That's an important statement because essentially every message you're putting out there is either to educate or entertain, and
But you have to do it at the same time.
ideally. And the other thing that you said that's super valuable is the word audience, because when you think of it as an audience, like I try to always imagine like being in a room with people, right? Or maybe in a hallway and there's different rooms with different people. And you have to understand like this is a recurring, like you're not going to go into a room and shout a message once and leave. That's not
Right.
going to work, right? Nobody's going to want to talk to you. And then
No.
like if you say some random something to somebody once and then the next time you say something the same thing again or whatever it is, like you have to understand you're building an audience, you're communicating to an audience. It's not just spitting out an ad and moving on with my day. Because spitting out an ad and moving on with my day could work if you have like big distribution and you understand that side of things, but I don't think that's the case in most instances.
No, exactly. And that's why I also have the wait list, and I want people to be prepared to be able to get the leads, it's all about lead gen. So I need to know that they understand that my job is to make people aware that you exist, that you're open, and what you can do, and bring them in your door or on, in your phone. So that's my job. That is my job, and I want everyone to be prepared for what that means. If there's a vampire and you don't like the vampire, well, I mean, there won't be a vampire, but maybe there will be a witch. Who knows?
If there's a vampire, there will be a lawsuit.
Yeah.
um,
So,
I get what
you
you're
know,
saying.
it's so that's why I'm not here for quantity. I'm here for quality. I will provide quality, and I want to make sure that, I mean, just knowing there's so many great people out there doing this, I know, and some people need help, and I can't. I need to be able to help the people that are willing to put in the time, the effort, the money, and they're ready.
Right.
They're ready for success.
Right. Well, I think it's an opportunity because when I feel like when you're just getting started in something, like the first customer, like you obviously know what you're doing, but beyond that, like your first customers, you go out of your way with your first customers of a business to make sure that they're seeing the best results possible. And then you're also like they're in the ground floor with you to grow with you, as opposed to when you're like just accessing a business and you're just become another client. And then their job once they get you as a client is to get more clients and keep it moving. And, getting a one-on-one, someone that wants to grow with you, someone that's going to take it on a personal level is important.
and that's why we have the wait list started, because I already have people interested and ready to get going. That's why I have the, first the content. I need to, well, the business aspect. I mean, I'm starting a business, for goodness sake. So there's a lot that's involved in that. But as soon as just a few more details are ready, then it's going to go live. And this package of content will be delivered to multiple areas, but they will be targeted. So, and each client will get the same thing.
So
The same amount.
the same amount, I mean, based on whatever their budget is, I imagine, right? Like in relative or however your packages are. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
We just wait and see.
We'll see.
Yeah, maybe we can check in again.
Roger Torres commented and he just asked who you were. So I just kind of want to give a recap for anybody who joined late. Your name's, or actually, I'll leave it to you. Your name's Audra, and
yes, Audra Leigh.
Audra Leigh, you Wicked Witch Media, and previously Solar Guard. Specialty is marketing.
That's right.
And
joined Solar Guard about 2 years ago, and I am now. I fell in love with the industry, and I want to stay in it.
So, on that Solar Guard subject, what do you think? It's a good. I only think of it in a good way because I like Solar Guard. Like I've never I'm impressed with them. Like I have nothing bad to say about them.
Wonderful.
And if I did, I probably no. But anyway, what I wanted to ask you is, what do you think? Being that you've been in there, and I feel like this question helps them too. What have you seen? What do you think that Solar Guard does so well? Like, what is one thing, like if you were saying like these guys are awesome, or these people are just killing it at this, like where do you think they're doing a really great job and should really even focus more on, or whatnot, just in general? Where do you see their strength being?
I see a lot. I know a lot of strengths. One thing that I really loved was the Armor Coat program, the certification program with safety film above 10 mil. I thought that was such an important thing to happen. Knowing the complexity of installing that film and how it needs to be, what's the word? Why can't I think of it?
The attachment system?
Yes, the attachment system. Caulking.
Down 995.
See,
Yep.
I know what I'm talking about. So I think that program that's how you get quality dealers. That's how you get quality dealers. That's how you get people to respect what you're doing, respect the product, respect the people behind it. So that's one thing that I really, really think they're doing right. That's me. So safety film is huge. Everything that they're doing right now during this quarantine, they're making masks. I mean, so I say we. Whew, guess my heart breaks a little bit. They are making masks, and they've had to make some big changes, big changes, and supporting their employees, working with Saint Gobain. I mean, they have Saint Gobain behind them.
Yeah.
Vortex. Vortex is on my car. Hydro is on my car.
Vortex is a relatively new IR film for cars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the ceramics IR, and Hydro is their new PPF.
Okay.
So I really like that. And, yes, I have been loyal while I was there. I've been very loyal to that brand. But I have been learning about the other brands during this time. I feel the different films. I'm just a constant sponge. I want to learn as much as I can. And, but the question was about Solar Guard. Sorry.
So no, you answered it because, and I think your certification, like that's definitely a huge strength for them because when you're going out to sell security, people want to they're looking for a sense of safety. Of course, they're looking for the actual security, but in that they want the highest level. So if you're going against another dealer and you're able to show that you are certified for this type of product, it is going to command that higher dollar and be a differentiating factor between you and maybe you're going against like somebody who's not certified, but they're selling like 3M or another brand that is recognizable. That is a huge one up because a certification, that's what you want with something like security. You want to hear the word certified with it. So I think like that was a great one that you brought up. That was their strength.
Yeah, we'll see. And I do believe that I mean, I don't know how things are right now, but I know that it was always about listening to their dealers and figuring out what's feasible and what they can do to, put film in their hands and the film that they want. And with a big company the way it is, as any big company, it's hard to make things happen
so
quickly.
Another question on the Solar Guard topic. And if the Solar Guard topic's not one you want to stick on, you just say the word.
Yeah, I don't want to stick on it.
Okay.
I mean, I have nothing bad to say.
Got it. Because
one more question. How about that?
All right, let's
I
throw in
know
one more
that
question.
somebody's watching from
Because
Solar Guard.
This isn't really Solar Guard related, but I guess I thought of it this way. I've seen you on other live videos. That's really what this question is about. So when you look at going into live videos, like you've obviously done it, I want to hear your experience as to like maybe some of the difficulties you encountered getting started, or like were you a natural of it? And then my next question is why I think, hey, why aren't you doing it more? Why weren't they doing it more? Why isn't everybody doing it more? And what do you think about live? That's really the subject, not the brand, but live video.
Live video I think is what everyone needs to do, and I yell at myself every day to do it. And I always have something to talk about, but as soon as I press play or record or go live, I am speechless. So it's really important that that I force myself to do it, being consistent. Consistency is key, and I yell at myself quite a bit because some days I don't feel like going on, and I've been able to get away with that. But when it comes to why Solar Guard doesn't go live more, it was just, how do you go live in an office when you're in an office every day?
I'm going live in a purple room. What do you mean?
Yeah, but it's been
I know what you're saying. I think that kind of thing can be said about anybody and anywhere, and go, well, how do you do this without that? But realistically, like, there's ways around that. That's the challenge.
There is.
You can do it, but I get it. You still answer the question, and I relate with it, and I understand it.
And I'm, I watch what you have been doing, and I know that I need to do it, and it's going to happen. And honestly, now that I don't have, I'm not worried about who's watching me or saying something wrong, which I never had anything bad to say or wrong to say, but just that, am I going to get in trouble? Understood. Well, now it feels completely different. And plus I know more about window film. So now I feel more comfortable talking about it, and I'm talking about it in the marketing sense, which means that, now things can just flow, right, and makes it easier. But also it's making me put makeup on every day.
So yeah, you see all the different like funny like Zoom memes and videos and like scenarios that people are in, and so yeah, So I had a thought. I went the squirrely thing that you mentioned earlier.
Yes, there's squirrels constantly.
Squirrels. So, what do you think about like, and for you, not in general, but for you, do you have any plans to do like a YouTube channel? Do you see that as maybe one revenue aspect, like, because I came across a YouTube channel. I came across a Instagram post earlier today, and it was from a landscaping company, and they had hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and they were announcing that. And then in the comments, somebody congratulated them, and the person who congratulated them, the other person said, "Do you even remember when you hit 1,000?" So I was like, "Who is this person?" So I started like going through, and I got to their YouTube channel, and they had like 35,000 subscribers on their landscaping YouTube channel. And then my mind went to, okay, the 1,000 guy just was able to now monetize his YouTube channel. So he's probably going to earn a couple bucks a month, $100, $200, something like that. And then I go, the 35,000 guy, now it's hard to guess how much he's making, but depending on views and duration of video, he could be making 500 a month. He could be making 3,000 a month. Let's call it 1,500. Is 1,500 not an exciting amount of money to have coming in ongoing, no matter what, just like automatically? And then at the same time, those videos are obviously bringing you in tons of money. I'm sorry,
Right.
tons of customers, because
Right.
it's your market.
The audience.
You obviously have the audience. So the audience is way more valuable than the pennies YouTube are throwing at you, but that's nice too. So what do you think that's maybe a direction you're going to go in? What are your thoughts on that, and so on?
Absolutely have to. Working on a whole set of videos that will go up shortly or in the next couple of weeks. And I've also tried to be very sensitive about starting a business during this time. So I'm not like going all gung ho and getting everything. That being said, videos, YouTube channel, TikTok, because I want to get the younger audience. I'm not going to touch Snapchat that I can think of, but TikTok for sure.
So with TikTok, what do you imagine? Like, what's your how do you see integrating that? Because I think, again, we're talking about you, but I think it translates to window film, because I mentioned landscaping, still window film, same thing. You doing it, how does a window film dealer integrate something like TikTok? We talk about how do you make YouTube content in an office? How do you make TikTok content for a window film company?
See, and I find it way more fun doing for window film. If you're applying window film, there are ways, put some music on in the background, some fun effects, and just say, hold up the window film and then hold it down. And you can see, you can just the taking off the window film. Look at all the pictures that I see online or in Facebook and all the groups of all the bad tint jobs that are being removed and fixed. Well, let's go through that process. Make a video of the removal process, and then one of the laying out the film and cutting it, and then one video for the installation process. I mean, there you go. There's 3 ways to make 3 videos in one day.
It's true. I think that makes a great YouTube video. Because it's searchable. I think it makes a great video for your website because it transfers knowledge. I think it makes a great video for Facebook because, for obvious reasons, the same as YouTube. I just wonder, I guess, and I'm asking the question, I'm really not suggesting anything, but is that entertaining enough for something like TikTok? I think, YouTube, for example, if you were to get 5 views on a video this week, well, that 5 views could turn into 2 or 3 customers, because if you're only getting 5 views, somebody's probably searching specifically for what you were offering. And I guess what I'm saying is I can see the return because it's searchable. But then on TikTok, I feel like unless you really capture an audience, how are you going to convert locally to homeowners and car drivers and so on? Not saying the age doesn't match up, but more like, unless you become so famous that how could you not want to use you? I'm wondering if the juice is worth the squeeze on that one.
So for me, for Wicked Witch, it will be useful because I'm, with all the research that I'm doing on that platform, at least for Wicked Witch, it can educate on window film. It can be that educational, that fun type of film. Awareness platform for window film. So we want to get the people at a younger age. I mean, that's just how it is. It's these people. I mean, I know, the 20-year-olds are now starting to get on TikTok. I know what they're watching because I have 3 children. I know that they're watching the informative videos, not just, I know we all see the dancing videos. They are learning some pretty amazing things on how to on maybe products that they need. I mean, they're actually learning on this. And as long as you're willing to teach, you will have an audience right away, and it's all organic. And sure, it may be a, a growth process, and maybe that is just for Wicked Witch, but that is still content that's going to be created that can be used elsewhere.
So Heather actually just in the comments said that she books 5 cars a week through Snapchat. She put in little quotes, hate it, but it works. So that's, I think, extremely impressive, Heather. I think that's extremely something like Snapchat to book 5 cars at an average of, let's say, $200 to $300. I mean, you're talking $1,000 to $1,500 in revenue a week. You're talking $60,000 to $80,000 a year in revenue off of Snapchat. So, and that's just one thing. I'm sure that's not the only thing Heather's doing, obviously.
But if she's doing it and it's successful, she's found something that's working, and that's awesome. And that's great that, that she was able to do that. It takes time. And like she said, she hates it. I get it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be on social media if I didn't have to be, but I mean, I kind of like it, I guess.
I think, yeah, I know what you mean. I wasn't one of the first to sign up to Facebook. I was one of the last, and I never had a MySpace account. But
me either.
Now that we're all connected, it feels like the right thing to be a part of. Like, it feels like I'd be missing out if I didn't have, I know I'd be missing out immensely if I didn't have social media. So I know what you're saying. Heather also said, I don't tint, I market, I have time. So she's just saying she's not actually tinting, she has time to market, which is another great point because if you are tinting all day and you're saying, well, how do I have time to do this? You don't have time to do this, nor is your time necessarily worth you doing it because you can't do everything because you only have so much time. And there's a different return on your time investment too, and so on. The other thing that I want to ramble on about is, Heather, you mentioned that you weren't such a fan of Snapchat. Well, I'm actually not really a Snapchatter either, but Heather's here saying that she's making $50,000 to $80,000 in revenue just off of Snapchat. And that goes to show you that not everything's for everybody, and you shouldn't feel bad about it. You shouldn't force it. You should go where you feel comfortable. And if that's Instagram, then go all in on Instagram. If you're better on YouTube, do it. Like, do what works for you. You don't have to do everything.
Absolutely. Do something and do it well.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you try to make content and you're like, I'm going to make content on Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, Reddit, your website, and you're this, and you're not going to have time. You're going to be overwhelmed, and nobody actually has time to do all of that really well. That's actually an enormous problem, not just posting on it, but actually being effective on all those platforms.
Engaging with everybody, filtering through all of the direct message inboxes and building that audience. Oh, I don't know. And yes, and being creative enough to create the fun content, the usable content.
And one more comment. Heather said please understand I book 150 cars a week though. And that's the whole point is you're booking 5 is not much. Google's my number 1, but that's why you're booking 150. Cause I think that's, you're in the top percentage of, I don't think that many shops, like more than not, don't do 150 cars a week. And you're doing it because you're going after things like, hey, I get 5 from here, I get 10 from here, I get 50 from over here. It's the combination of everything. It's not going to be just one place. And I know she knows that.
Yeah. And, for someone like Heather, who's able to market for, I don't know how many locations, but they have, but if they have one location, then, and she's marketing for that business, that is awesome. That is great. And that means that they're doing well enough to be able to have someone dedicated.
Right. Well, oftentimes you can share that responsibility because somebody needs to answer the phones, somebody needs to do invoicing, answer emails, and so on. And then throwing in some social media, if they understand it, if it's something that they can dive into, it's feasible. You just have to delegate it and do it. She mentioned that it's 2 locations she's doing it for.
Okay. But then there's also content on the website, blogs, informative content that is more formal, creating that as well and keeping it coming out on a regular basis. Yeah, that's
Yeah. I think if any tin shop out there says, okay, let me think about all that I want to communicate to my customers about why I'm a great company, about why my products are great and why they should use me and why I'm in business and so on. If you think about all the messages and then all the answers to the questions you get asked on a daily basis and you say, is that information displayed on my website? Do I have that information in paper form to hand my customers? Do I have that as a pre-written email? Like, do you actually have that written down or is it all in your head? I'd say almost every single one's going to go, no, I don't have all of it. I'm still missing this, some products, some information. And that's where I think you come in, which is, being able to focus on getting that sort of thing done because it is a lot.
It is a lot. And showing the proof, reporting, analytics, showing, the leads, bringing in the people, that is so important. And if somebody is not able to and wants Wicked Witch Media to take control and get the leads for you so you don't have to worry about that. Not Heather, though. Heather is great. Then come to Wicked Witch.
I mean, everybody can always use an extra hand or some help. You never know. There's always like a great idea on the horizon. There's always some new thing, and it can be game changing. It can be a combination of two ideas, and it just forms into something that you could never have imagined, A
partnership, a team. And that's exactly how I feel with people from Solar Guard and not from Solar Guard, but still in the industry. It's not about competition. Let's build each other up. Let's do it together. And let's make window film a word the normal Joes know.
Yeah. It's so much easier to, like, something that I constantly remind myself of is the concept of, your job is to build and this is something I heard from Gary Vee, and I don't even know if it originated with him, but regardless, you want to build the tallest building. You can do that by either building the tallest building or trying to tear other buildings down. And, obviously it's like a better life if you focus on building the tallest building and you forget about whatever else is around. You focus on engineering the tallest building. Because if you focus on trying to tear down all the buildings around you, it's a miserable life, and you have less control. You have more control over your own buildings than you do all the rest around you.
Yep.
So yeah, like what I'm getting at, I guess, is like what you just said. It's a competition, but it's a competition that can be won through, the tides rising everyone, not by trying to starve everyone out. It doesn't. It's a better mall if you're not bombing each other. You know what I mean? Like you end up with you get it.
Yeah, I do get it. And that's something too. I have a lot of insight, and I don't know if it's all good. I'm constantly growing, but that's definitely my mind state, is to spread positivity and support for people, because we're all the same. We're all humans, just with different stories. So I want to be a positive impact on people, not the opposite. So that's what I plan on doing.
Cool. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. This was a long time in the making, and
yes,
and I'm glad we got it done. And congratulations on the new business. I definitely obviously want to do this again, and
me too.
Follow-ups and so on. And I'm excited for you, and looking forward to seeing where it leads.
Thank you. I was thrilled to get your message and to come on and just share the wonderful window film news. I am just happy to be here, and I'm excited for the future.
And Heather left a comment. She said, "You're great. You'll do amazing."
Oh, thank you, Heather. Try to reach out to me on social media. More supporters that we have, to have each other's back. That's so key. So I want to be your cheerleader too.
And thank you to everybody for watching. Heather, thanks for sharing, especially sharing that Snapchat thing. I mean, that's an example of, like, some people would be like, oh, I'm not going to tell anybody. But obviously it's not a huge amount of your business. But at the same time, that's a very valuable tip for anybody out there saying, how do I get more business? Well, there's another proven way. So if you like Snapchat, start looking at it in the terms of how it can bring you business. And thanks to everybody for watching. We'll be back Thursday, same time, same place. Thanks, Audra.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.